Hello, it's weekly wrap-up time here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I've got office cat Squirrels with me. She's always one of the best. Her and Wobbles have been such a huge help. And of course, I might have to stop the weekly wrap-up to snuggle a cat. As all of you cat lovers know, you're not supposed to work or get up if a cat needs attention. The cat gets attention. But Squirrels, come here. Oh. So I'm happy to do a weekly wrap-up. I think most of all, I'm happy that I get to do it inside because it was minus 10 degrees today, which is the coldest it's been, and it is way below average temperature. So on top of that big snowfall we got right before Thanksgiving, then everything went into the deep freeze. And anybody that's lived in weathers like this, we're really glad that we have the temperature controlled buildings for every animal here. But that doesn't make things easier. That doesn't make UTVs start every morning. Or today we were out at 7, and at 8 o'clock we went to get into the Woodlands building, and that keypad had the batteries had died. So luckily we do have backup keys for the keypad. And then I went into Pride Prairie and went to open the door, and there was like an ice jam. And when you opened the door, the entire door frame came out of the frame and moved into the building. So facilities came down right away to fix that. But that is just part of living in the tundra of Minnesota. But as we went around this morning, the cats were still out. I mean, Mango's out just running like, you know, the winter is where she lives and loves. And Tarek and Polina were so funny because they were out running. And as you guys know, Tarek, the tiger, in his new spot, he loves his indoor bedroom so much. He's sleeping always belly up in his indoor bedroom. So it was just a really pleasure to be able to see him run and chase Paulina today. Another really fun moment this morning was I went into quarantine, and Sushi, the fishing cat, like I always peek and I open the door just a little bit to quarantine because I know she wants to run and hide if I don't have food. And so giving her the chance to do that. And then little ocelot Rio, the oldest ocelot in captivity, doesn't even act like it. She was rolling on her hammock, just chatting it up. She was so charismatic. And I ran into her caretaker Kelly on her way in, who just, you know, Rio has her heart, and was just like, yep, she hasn't fed yet, but she was being super sweet. And so they were just giving breakfast, and the little bobcat Mira was next. And you know, it's so fun to see the small cats. We were in Catio Town today, so I had some industry people here this morning, some caretakers from a zoo, and so we were kind of showing them everything from the food prep building to the meds to all the cats. And of course, we go into Catio Town, and as you know, we kind of have overflow right now, and so Harley is in the center playroom. We call it the holiday house because it's decorated as Christmas, and then he gets to run the Jericho Hall, or the center hallway, during the day. Well, he's been going up to every room in the hallway, turning his back and just spraying into each cat room. He is marking that hallway as his own. So Catio Town has a stronger scent than it normally does, but hopefully we'll be able to get another play date or something going on. And all we need is one more merger. That's kind of what we always say here at the sanctuary, one more merger, and then there won't have to be an overflow space used. So everybody send Harley the Bengal good thoughts that he can live with somebody, and that he will quit peeing in everyone's cat rooms. So with the weekly wrap up today, just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit. First of all, a huge thank you for Give to the Max. I know we thanked you a few times, but it is worthy of another thank you, because that really blew us away. Our goal was to raise about $500,000 to cover 3 to 4 months of operating over the winter, and we are above that. You guys really came through on the double match, the triple match, and even the power hour. Just the deepest and sincerest thanks to all of you. And then I know Giving Tuesday, many of you guys supported so many sanctuary causes. Thank you for that. And many of you supported our toy drive. So we will be purchasing toys for the cats and new toys with all the money you guys gave for Giving Tuesday. So stay tuned. Some cat updates and some staff updates. So cat updates. I don't know if I've told you yet. Come here, Squirrels. Oh, here comes Wobbles too. That Tyler, who's our caretaker, one of our caretakers, he is also runs our volunteer crew days. And during that time, most of those crew days are construction, whether it's habitat, platforms, doing skirting, things like that. And we learned from Tyler that his passion, he really loves doing the construction and the building for the cats. And seeing that come to fruition. And so when we have an employee like that, and we know we have a growing need for always improving habitat space and maintenance, we kind of evolved a position for Tyler to have more of a hybrid position where he's going to be more in our facilities department, but still have kind of a foot a day or two in the caretaking department since he's been a caretaker. So he's not only can be backup for caretakers that need time off, but it also allows more flexibility for doing a lot of that habitat construction, skywalks, things like that, because he has passed all the training to be able to shift cats out and double check locks. And so he's going to be joining the facilities team, Jesse and Bobby, and still supporting the caretaking team. So what that did is it opened up one more full-time spot for caretaker. And as you guys know, we have a very robust, sorry, this is getting hard, Wobbles, a very robust internship program, both media and animal care. And so we really like to promote within. And so we're very thankful that we had some wonderful candidates apply for that full-time caretaker position that opened up when Tyler moved to facilities. And Bria, one of our interns, has accepted that position and will be starting full-time after her internship. So stay tuned to meet Bria more formally as a caretaker. Also on that side, you guys know that we are trying to expand our marketing and development department to be able to keep everything up to speed, transparent, give you guys a look into the sanctuary. Takes a lot of time, and also to be stewards of your dollars. So with Judson, that moved on to his new wildlife and as a fishing guide. Olivia's still helping us, but we have expanded our search for a content creator, as you guys know. Still looking at candidates internally and externally, but also wanting to bring in a marketing and fundraising director to manage the department. Gina's been doing a great job of it. I've been pitch hitting, but it's kind of time for us to expand, as we always expand the animal care department, but we haven't in years expanded the development department. And so that is what we're doing. So stay tuned. In January, we will announce a new member of our team. None of us, Gina and I, are not going anywhere. We just need added help and we want added expertise. We've been in the business a long time, but Gina and I will be the first to say social media is new, and as much as we stay up on it, there's just not enough hour in the day to always know the new algorithms, the new ways to handle the website and new upgrades. So to us, it's just a better way to bring more experts. We also want this position to help us even more bring our mission to new supporters. And we're always so grateful when you guys share our posts and share our e-news with friends and family, because our goal is to bring more people into the cause, younger people also into the cause, and so that we can continue to make change for these animals for years to come. So stay tuned. That'll be great news. And then there's been kind of some stuff going on internally is a big thing, especially in our winter months. Training and continuing education is so important. Here at the sanctuary, every January, we review all the animal care protocol. We kind of refresh all that training with the staff. We do crisis communications, crisis and emergency planning all year round, but it's another time of year when it's freezing out, we can come in and do that. We also do continuing ed from everything from anatomy of a cat, teaching more in depth of anatomy of the cat, how to watch for pain response in the residents, how anesthesia, how that works and what that looks like, because so many of the caretakers assist with immobilizations and vet exams, and also their drug protocol, from anesthesia drugs to all the drugs we're giving out, what they do, what is important to look for. And so continuing education is something we continue to do internally over and over. We also, the caretakers have started putting together species presentations, but it's been really great to see is that we keep continuing to care for a breadth and a broader group of species of cats. And so we are really good at knowing species. We want to balance the species background, but also their rescue background and their, personal background. But bringing the species information of what's happening to the species in the wild, what their adaptations are for them in the wild, and then how do we bring that to life? Like, how do we change their habitat to bring out more species specific? How do we make that wild at heart life very specific for that individual species? You can imagine what a fishing cat wants and needs is so different than a tiger, is so different than an African serval. And so, yes, they all love toys, but the type of toys they need, fishing cats, the more we keep researching, everybody wants sushi to swim, right? Fishing cats are supposed to swim. Well, in the wild, they're really only swimming to catch food. They don't do a lot of swimming for enjoyment. It's really about looking for food, grabbing food. And so a lot of the time when you read about species, you read that the fishing cat is usually perched above the water, somewhere high, looking down in the water, watching the water for that opportunity to feed. And so that's just a shift of, remember, we gave Sushi, who is a fishing cat, but doesn't know she's one because she came from a pole building in Michigan when she was rescued, has had a hard time with water. But talking to her caretakers and all the stuff we did is, we're going to bring this beautiful waterfall in, and all that landscaping we did in that habitat, she was afraid of, because that's mostly because of her captive background. But then to look at her wild background and being able to just perch above a deeper pool, not expecting her to swim, but have some boulders in it, she's still getting that natural response and perching up on that. And so talking to her caretakers here at the sanctuary, they said, oh, she loved the deep, smaller pool when she's living up here in quarantine that had boulders around, and she was up there on it all the time. And so again, she might not swim because, first of all, she doesn't have to go find her food in the water, but now we can still give her opportunities that are still fishing cat-esque and mimic what she would have in the wild. So these species-specific presentations, you can read a textbook and things, but it's really more about collaborative of learning how do we change what we're doing here at the sanctuary in captivity and everything else to bring out what they would be experiencing in the wild. As we've talked about, we can never replicate it. No cat should be, we're not giving 5-mile range to like bobcats that bobcats have in the wild in captivity. No matter the best work we do together, we can't replicate that, but we can give them glimmers of what that wildlife would be like. And so these have been really, really fun to do, and then brainstorming enrichment ideas, habitat changes, even, how we deliver enrichment or food to really appeal to that species specific trait. So that's another fun thing to do. I have, thank you guys. I see Pamela, Karen, Kristen, a lot of people in here, and I see the scroll coming up, and little Squirrels here from the side is watching that on the phone. So a few more cat updates. As you guys know, Lucifer, who we call Louie, the black jaguar, came, and he was very underweight when he came to us, very high stressed. He put on weight really well, but he was having some trouble maintaining the weight. And so we were looking very closely, the caretakers were at his stool. At times he began to regurgitate his food, but it looked like it was vomiting versus regurgitating. And so he was sedated for an exam. Results came back a little bit inconclusive, but based on clinical signs and some of those early results that came back, he looks like that he is an EPI cat, a pancreatic insufficient cat, similar to Aurora that we have here, Simba, even Sushi. And so a lot of that is, can be from the traumatic experience his body had gone to before, could contribute to why he wasn't putting on weight great or maintaining it for as long as we'd like. And it's something that we are continuing to watch, but we've added pancreatic enzymes and other medication to his diet, and he's doing extremely well. It is expensive to treat EPI because those pancreatic enzymes are not cheap. And so every time you guys support to your sponsor cat or support to a campaign like Give to the Max, you are helping us always allow to be proactive. We also have his partner, in crime, who came from Oregon, Bentley, the leopard. And Bentley, as you guys know, is a 4-paw declaw and older. And so he's been doing well, but obviously we know when we see the cold temperatures or the cold snow that's going to affect his declaw arthritis. And so we would like to start him on Silencia. If you remember, that's the subcutaneous injection that really helps with cat arthritis. And Lucy was on it and made a big impact for her life. We have Ariana the lynx is on it, and so we would like to start Bentley on it for his arthritis. And so that'll probably, for a domestic cat, it's about $100 a month, so I'm assuming we're going to be at $300 to $400 a month for that. But if it can give him relief, we're going to do that, and that's where your support goes. So those are a few medical updates. We're continuing to watch our cats that have some chronic rhinitis. As you guys know, Ledger the Savannah has had chronic rhinitis and upper respiratory for ever since he came. And so he's seen a little bit more symptoms, Puma the Bengal and Edgar the domestic. And so not only they're getting some nebulization to try and help with that, antibiotics doesn't always respond because this is a chronic issue, but we do try it periodically, oral antibiotics on top of the nebulization to try and just make them more comfortable and help. And so we also have our next exam will be Cine the Savannah is due for a wellness exam, so stay tuned next week. Hopefully we'll do that. And then we kind of slow our wellness exams for the winter because we don't want cats recovering in the cold. And as you guys know, as you saw with Tarek's exam, if it's a big cat and we're not needing to do tons of radiographs and more invasive type of diagnostics, we do that in their room because that is safer for them, easier on them to recover there, a lot less anesthesia time. And of course, even though we have temperature controlled buildings, we, during those exams, lock cats out so that a cat recovering from anesthesia who can have a little bit of hallucinations and things like that isn't overstimulated by other cats in the building. And that's just not fair to have to lock another cat out or try and control that building temperature. So of course we're still going to do anything if a cat is needed. We bring him to the hospital, but during the winter months, those elective wellness exams kind of go slow, and then we will focus on some of the smaller cats that might live in Catio Town, the offices, or servals that recover pretty well in the hospital before they're moved back outside. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. We are heading into holiday season here and year-end season. So remind everybody, I know so many people were seeing some lovely IRA distribution gifts and donor advised fund gifts to be able to get those tax breaks. And so definitely think of the Wildcat Sanctuary if that's still an option and you are going to have to make some year-end contributions. The cats will always benefit from your support. And also, when it's year end, people have been asking, do we have a 2026 calendar for sale? And we do. And so they'll probably post it in the link here, but you can always find it at our website. It's on the homepage midway down, or under help, how to help and shop. So we do have a 2026 photo calendar for people to purchase. They make great stocking stuffers for other people and great personal gifts for yourself where you can see cats all year long. Well, that's kind of my weekly wrap up for this week. I know people, if you have ever questions on your sponsor cat, please email your sponsor coordinators, Julie or Beth. They will always help you. And I know Olivia's been doing sponsorship updates as well. Somebody's asking, how's Alyssa doing in the colder temps? She's been doing great. Alyssa was kind of motoring around, and her and Leo, as you know, are on a shared wall now. And in that indoor building, we created a howdy door, much like Shazam has with Winona. And a howdy door is pretty much a fence window to your partner on the other side. So even though they can't be together when they're in their indoor rooms, they still have each other and can do tactile contact through the shared fence wall inside. And we are doing, adding the TVs for enrichment and CD players for audio enrichment, especially in the winter months when the cats spend more time inside. So if you want to go to our Amazon wish list at all, there are a couple TVs on there that are for cat enrichment and CD players as well. Kind of part of our toy drive, but we'll take it all year long to keep cats stimulated when they are spending more time indoors. So, well, we hope to, we'll do a weekly wrap up every, week here till the end of the year, continue it next year. We have some really exciting year-end news, so stay tuned over the next following weeks. Nothing I can share with you now. I know people have asked for what, is there footage of Mango in the snow? Absolutely, and I'm going to follow up with the communications team because I know they kept saying they were going to be posting a reel. She loves the snow. When I was out there today, she's running in it. I think when she first stepped in it, it was more of, I don't know what this stuff is under my feet. But now, she's a seasoned snow lion. And I was going to talk about something else, and I know that just changed, another update, but that's okay. There's so many updates that they can do. Well, again, thank you everybody for tuning in and being part of the sanctuary. Stay tuned over the next few weeks for some big news. Oh, I know what I was going to say. People are asking for a Squirrels update. I followed up again today with U.S. Fish and Wildlife, but, permits are not guaranteed. They review the application, review the reason for import, and we hope we will get an update. But patience is a virtue when you're doing anything international. We were so blessed that Kim, Carl, and Mango's permit went through really quickly, but we know Lucy's didn't. We know Argentina took a long time. So we are still in contact with the facility that is housing Kiros, and he's doing well, but we're all anxious to get him to his permanent home here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So we will definitely keep you posted, of course, if anything changes on him or when he might be coming, but this is right now in the wait and see kind of game. So see everybody soon. And again, thank you so much for your support here at the Wildcat Sanctuary.